Hey, what's up, Hognose One fans? Thanks for tuning in to Hognose One. 2025 breeding season is upon us. Everybody knows, and I talk about it all the time, how much I love this season. Very, 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 very busy, but we have had an amazing time. A lot of carryover from last year. Clutches that were laid in the fall, hatched early this spring. The permafrost stuff blew my mind. Hatched the blue permafrost, hatched an ice storm, which is a caramel storm cloud, hatched the frost storm, which is axanthic caramel hypo sable, hatched some Arctic permafrost and some other permafrost that had like purple coloration, some that were blue with like a reddish coloration blotch. Just mind-blowing, this whole permafrost stuff. But really fun. I really enjoyed those. A lot of them have gone to new homes. A lot of breeders wanting to work with those. And we're happy to funnel those in the directions they needed to go. But we've got a lot more on the horizon. Eggs are just now starting to hatch. Had my first clutch that was actually laid in 2025, just hatched a couple weeks ago. Another permafrost clutch. Did hit another permafrost out of that one. Got some more clutches on the way right now. So just a really fun year around here at Hognose One. This season in particular, I wanted to focus more on quality pairings. Things that I want to bring to fruition that I've waited for a long time. I'm really focusing on color this time around. I really want to focus on some of the reds, yellows, greens, mixing stuff into blue permafrost. I've got some combos, some crazy stuff that should be hatching out of a lot of those clutches. Really some neat stuff, but definitely quality over quantity. Now, we've been so busy, but I did have one opportunity to get on a podcast. If you haven't checked out the amazing Heart and Moon podcast over on Spotify, you definitely need to check that out. They are some of my favorite people in the hobby. Trinity Hart, Susie Moon, just amazing folks that I had a great time visiting with. They accommodated my busy, hectic, crazy schedule to do a pre-recorded podcast, and that just came out, I guess, a week or two ago. Amazing stuff. Make sure to check that out. I've been invited to do some other podcasts, some lives, but unfortunately just haven't been able to hammer out a time for those. More to come. So for this particular podcast, I do have some more hognose related content that I do want to release. I have some educational information that I feel like will be a benefit to this channel. I've had special requests. Kevin, more hognose stories. So I'm going to give you some of my personal hognose stories, maybe some stats that I have personally. And I have a very few recorded interviews from collectors in the field. I think it's a benefit. I think it's a tremendous resource for us to be able to hear about people that found hognose snakes specifically in the regions or places they live. A lot of these are remote areas, and I just think it's good information. I'll also be asking questions like, what's the largest hognose snake you've ever seen in your area? What is a general size for a large adult female there? What's a good clutch size if you've bred animals from those localities? Have you ever seen an albino in the wild? Have you ever seen a morph that was undescribed or unknown or something you found to be intriguing? I'll ask questions like, have you ever seen a parasite on hognose snakes? I'll be asking about different types of feeding, etc., etc. Now, in addition to this, I'm going to be going into, and may have some of them, where I talk about crazy stories. Now, those don't just revolve around the Plains hognose snake. I'll also talk about venturing from Lubbock to the herpers Mecca in the western portion of Texas. That's the Trans-Pecos, or the region beyond the Pecos River. You get into a completely different ecosystem over there. It's more montane, very rocky, and the species really, really begin to change, I would say, 3.5 to 4 hours south of the Lubbock area. Now, it is an area that has really, really wild animals. There's javelina there. There are wild introduced pigs. There are Mexican black bear in some of the areas around Big Bend National Park. There are mountain lions that we have seen or had close encounters with. There are drug mules that are in the area. It's a place that is heavily armed with ranchers that don't like people coming out and encroaching on their ranches. Even herpers, they don't like coming out a lot of times. We've seen a heavy border patrol presence, maybe even sheriffs coming around. It's just wild, all the stories that we had from the region. So I'll come up with some of those. Mostly it's just me talking about those situations in addition to the interviews with the collectors. But I think it'll be a fun time. So stick around. As always, hope you enjoy it. Thanks for your ear. I appreciate every one of you that is a listener, a subscriber, or a customer. And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side.